Hey, Lorain County football fans, welcome back to another episode of The Blitz, brought to you by our friends at First Federal Savings of Lorain. We're here in Midview, home of the Middies here at Ross Field at Edward T. Adelsberg Stadium, where those Middies will be home to the big bad Avon Eagles here in Week 9. Hard to believe it is Week 9, that postseason right around the corner. Before we dive into things, make sure you like and subscribe to that Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel. Hit that little bell notification icon down below to stay with all the latest here at the Chronicle Telegram. Catch all the latest episodes of The Blitz and more. Again, like and subscribe to that Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel. So before we get into Week 9, what the heck happened in Week 8? It was another wild one. And how about those Illyria Catholic Panthers under head coach Brian Fox? They take sole possession of first in the Great Lakes Conference. They take it to North Olmstead this past Friday night. 42-21 was the final score. That man, Levi Ellis, good luck trying to slow him down this season. He's been dangerous his whole career, and it continues again here in 2022. At 210 yards on the ground, but it was defensively where the Panthers really shined. No rushing yards for North Olmstead in that win. It was 28-0 at one point in favor of the Panthers. So now they really control their own destiny again. They have secured a spot in that GLC title game. They are home against Bay, this week. So Illyria Catholic looking good in the GLC. Elsewhere in the Lorain County League, how about those Black River Pirates? 4 straight wins for them after 4 straight losses to start the season. They hand Keystone a 28-22 loss in LaGrange, a huge road victory for Coach Kyle Clark's crew. 2 fourth down stops in the fourth quarter for that Pirate defense really helped propel them to victory, and that's a very tough Keystone offense to try and slow down year in and year out. And offensively as well, the Pirates are starting to come along. They've gotten guys like Tyler Markusic back. He's healthy. And when you got guys like Eric Grosser and Blake Hopkins doing damage offensively, you'll find yourself in a good spot eventually. They had a near 8-minute drive on their final scoring possession. That included 3 third down conversions, 1 on 4th down. So hats off to the Pirates, playing much better football now. They will be at home this week in a huge Lorain County League battle, but we'll get to that in a second. Elsewhere, Columbia and Firelands both pick up wins in the Lorain County League. They are heading for a conference title clash in Week 10. Again, unless Black River has something to say about that here in Week 9. And in the SWC, man, heartbreak for the Illyria Pioneers once again. They fall to Avon Lake 14-13. They get a last-second touchdown. They're looking good. Maybe just kick the extra point to tie it. No, they go for 2. Lance Glover gets into the end zone, but everything. A holding penalty actually brings it back. They're unable to convert on their second attempt. It was a pass that fell incomplete in the corner of the end zone, and the Shoremen hold on to knock off the Pioneers 14-13. Again, so close for Coach Devlin Culliver's crew. They're getting close to one of those marquee victories for the program, I think. But a hats off to the Shoremen for getting the job done there. 111 rushing yards for Avon Lake tailback Wade Nelson. A heck of a 2022 continues for that young man. So what's going on in Week 9? Again, just 2 weeks removed from the postseason. Well, on WEOL, on the radio, and Stream 1 on the website, it'll be Olmstead Falls at Avon Lake, an SWC clash as those two fight for Division II Region 6 playoff positioning. Avon pretty much has that SWC crown locked up, so this is basically the battle for second. The Shoremen come into this one on a 4-game winning streak. Again, that game against Illyria, I think, is very good preparation for this matchup against Olmstead Falls. Both the Pioneers and the Bulldogs, very strong, physical, run-heavy teams that rely a lot on their defense. Of course, different styles when you get down to the details and the X's and O's and things like that. But ultimately, I think that game against Illyria for Avon Lake helps them get ready for this Olmstead Falls matchup in Week 9. On the other side of that coin, Falls, they got back on track last week with the win against Amherst. The Comets continue to struggle, and Falls got back on track again after falling to Avon in the previous week. The interesting thing about this matchup, it really hasn't been close the last 2 years. Both sides were getting a blowout win. Avon Lake won 38-3 in 2020. Last year it was Olmstead Falls with a 35-3 win. So will it be close this year? Or are we in for another blowout? Who's to say? You can find out this week on WEOL. On Stream 2, a big one in the Lorain County League. Firelands at Black River. Those Falcons of Firelands handed Keystone their first ever Lorain County League loss this year. It's been a banner year for Coach O'Rourke over there at Firelands, trying to punch their ticket to the conference title game, if you will, which would be against Columbia in Week 10. But they got to get through Black River first. But for Firelands, it's 7 straight wins since that opening loss to Edison. Offensively, they've averaged 46 points per game in those 7 wins, allowing just 17 points per game. So they're outscoring their opponents by an average of 30 a game, again, since that opening loss to Edison. So a heck of a 7-game win streak those Falcons are on right now. And again, for the Pirates, they're 4-0. now, after an 0-4 start to get to 4-4 on the season, they were allowing over 30 points per game in their first 4. That number is down to 16 points per game, so they're really cranking things up defensively and offensively as well. They had just 32 total points through the first 4 weeks. They're averaging over 34 points per game since then, so the turnaround's really been on both sides of the ball for Black River. Again, getting healthier has been a huge part of that. Getting a guy like Tyler Markusic getting him back, I should say, certainly helps. So Black River and Firelands should be a heck of a battle here on Stream 2. Elsewhere in the Lorain County League, Keystone at Columbia. Again, Columbia trying to continue their march towards that Week 10 clash with Firelands. But can the Cats bounce back after a loss to Black River last week? You know they're going to be hungry under Coach Don Griswold. So Keystone and Columbia, another game to keep an eye on. And elsewhere on WEOL, I should say, our Medina County matchup on Stream 3. A good one here, Coventry at Cloverleaf in the Metro Athletic Conference down there towards Akron. So that should be a good Medina County matchup again on Stream 3. And elsewhere in the GLC for my Illyria Catholic folks, Holy Name plays host to Buckeye this week. That'll be for control of the GLC East. So really, whoever emerges between Holy Name and Buckeye, that's who Illyria Catholic will be taking on in Week 10 for that GLC title game. So there's kind of what to look forward to here in Week 9. Again, we are just 2 weeks away from the postseason. I know I'm excited. I know our head coaches and fans around the area, and the players for that matter, of course, got to be very excited as well. So that'll do it for this week's episode of The Blitz. A big thank you to the folks here at Midview for having us out. For Kristen Bauer behind the camera, as always, I'm Rocco Nucci saying thank you for listening to The Blitz, brought to you by our friends at First Federal Savings of Lorain. We'll see you next week.